hey, listen, at the end of the day, I totally, it sounds like you would consider moving if you had the right price, right? So instead of letting buyers pass us by that may be willing to give us the money before we go on the market, I think we should put it on the market. So this is a development one that I have. So I did
Uh-huh.
renderings to show what it could look like. Yeah. So basically, that's kind of what I do. I always try to find a way to have a reason to have their info and to have their listing.
Okay, awesome.
I think that's the best way of doing it because, especially once you start getting to more and more listing appointments, you want to make sure that you get them signed. Hello, how are you, Tessa?
Hey, how are ya?
I'm good. It looks like it's just me and you today.
Oh, no way. I'm sorry. It's 6:30 or 6:45 in the morning where I am, so
Don't
I'm
even worry about it. You're a trooper
okay.
to get up and get training yourself and getting all that stuff. So don't even worry about it. You're
Yeah.
already working, so don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, appreciate you doing this for us too.
No problem. I got you. So what we'll do this time, because obviously it's just you, so we can do some
Yeah.
one-on-one coaching essentially. And it doesn't
Okay.
necessarily need to be on a school if you're getting success in terms of booking things, but if you have any other objections or, kind of other scenarios about going into the house, things that you find a little bit harder that you would want to find an easier method to, whichever
Yeah.
way, you just let me know and, I can help you out. How long have you been with school for?
We joined, I want to say like 4 months ago.
And how are you
Um,
finding?
I have one listing that's closing this end of this month from Missoula. Yeah, I've been in sales
For
my
a
career.
while?
Um, I've only been in real estate. My husband, who usually is on the calls too, he
Yeah.
got his license like a year and a half ago, and I just got
Okay.
licensed in May.
Okay.
So we're newer. Um, and but like I said, I was doing sales and stuff, so
Yeah, you know what it is.
so kind of just like was like, okay, I'll just jump on board. So it's been good. But we live in Las Vegas, so the market definitely has changed,
Change.
been
Yeah, I
slow.
hear that a
Yeah,
lot of people are not going to Vegas right now. I don't know if
no,
you find that it's definitely, not as busy touristy.
100%. Yeah, there
What do you think's
are.
made that change?
I think
Just
it's like
everything?
it's. Well, I think our politics are keeping a lot of people out, and then it's expensive. So we lived in New York and California, which is very
Yeah.
expensive, and then
Yeah.
so we moved here thinking, okay, still a ton of stuff to do, but less expensive.
Hmm.
And it's just gotten, since COVID, they've raised prices a ton. So it's,
It's pretty crazy.
concerts. I mean, it's, yeah, you go out and you're going to spend like on the strip, you're going to spend a lot. And then
At least like what,
they've,
2, 3 grand,
I
maybe more.
mean, yeah, so like hotels are expensive.
Yeah.
And then so you're spending, a couple $100 a night, which used to be not like that because Vegas was always a draw since it was super cheap because everyone gambled.
Hmm.
But they're kind of making it um
It's really hard.
not as gambler, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so anyway, so it's just a lot more expensive. So you just have a lot of people not coming.
Yeah. Fair, fair.
And then the housing prices because of Californians coming COVID and
Yeah.
everything like us, but the what people make here doesn't hasn't been keeping up as much with the
What everything costs.
housing pricing. Yeah, the cost of living. So kind of like a bunch of those things. So I mean, some of the clients I've had was like relocation is something that and new to Vegas, which I like helping since we've only been here for like 4 years.
Yeah.
So that's kind of something. So I guess for me, thing has been I feel like I've been pulled in a lot of directions. Like I'm doing this, but I'm not good at social media. So it takes me
Yeah.
a long time to do that. I
Yeah.
can do lead follow up, but I don't feel like I feel like I get pulled in different directions. So it's not as consistent with my database. My, lead generation, we do open houses. We farm 2 areas in our that are close to where we live.
Mhm.
One is a 55 plus community, which has been really great because
Mhm.
there's a lot of there's a lot of turnover and people moving in and out from there. But I feel like I need to focus more on one or two things.
Exactly.
And then, and kind of, yeah. And I know you're with Keller Williams, right?
Yeah. Are you a KW too?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I invited to join Bold. I don't know if they do that everywhere, right? But
Yeah, I have. I believe it or not, I've been with KW for almost 10 years, and I've never once
uh-huh.
went.
Yeah. Well, my husband did it last year. He wasn't the biggest fan. He didn't have a database really from
Yeah,
it, but
it's hard to do
so
the bold 100 and stuff when,
when you don't have even like
Yeah,
five people, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they didn't have like a lot of signups, and so anyway, so they invited me to do it, and
Nice.
if get reimbursed for it. So I'm not paying for it. So I'm like, okay, well,
Perfect.
I'll do it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I feel like that yesterday was my first session for that. And it was helpful just because it's like, just really pick one thing to focus
Yes,
on.
yes.
Um, so in terms of like getting closer to my KPIs and everything. So, I mean, I just word vomited basically for 10 minutes,
All right.
but
Oh, it's all good.
I, yeah.
So
So
I
I think
got you.
for, yeah,
Yeah, I got you. So a few things that I'll take over with.
yeah.
So new agents, great. You guys are been in sales for a while. So this is what I focus on. So I mean, the thing is great, but it takes
Hmm.
time and you have to be there
Yeah.
every month, right? Door
Yeah.
knocking, dropping off things, which is fine.
Yep.
It just
Hmm.
the second thing that I would recommend is what you're kind of doing now. So I built my business. So I've been in real estate for almost 10 years. I've
Hmm.
so KW never left. My mentor that I joined his team afterwards, he was really big into online leads.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I dove through. However, I also did open houses. I also did door knocking. I also did,
Hmm.
events. I did bank days. Like I did everything and I've always done deals from it. Knocking almost had
Hmm.
3 houses side by side saying sold. I had two for sure.
Hmm.
I almost had the third one. So please, at the end of the day, I can know what it is in terms of lead genning because I'm a lead
Uh-huh.
generation coach. I'm
Uh-huh.
really good at scripting. I'm really good at understanding prospects. I'm really good on the fly. So really to help you out, especially if you're trying to mine sellers, you know,
Hmm.
or buyers, I always think
Yeah.
that online leads is where it's at because then you
Okay.
have to, you're spending money either way for any
Hmm.
lead gen, you're spending some sort of capacity, right?
Yeah.
So you're spending some money, and in turn, what you're doing is now, you're able to have numbers, whether they're fake or real, you're able to follow up with them, and you're able to
Hmm.
have conversations. Yes,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, any lead gen that you do, there's going to be one painful part about it that you're going to hate. For example,
Yeah.
open houses, you're wasting your whole fucking day, right?
Yeah.
It can pay off, but you're wasting your whole day, right? The
Yeah.
second, especially if you're doing a 2 to 4 or whichever. What we've been trying to do is the
Yeah.
12 to 2, so we can get out of there a little bit earlier.
Uh-huh.
Just because, to wait around, like, and your buyers and sellers and all these appointments, like, it starts to get too much sometimes, right? By
Yeah.
just doing that. Door knocking, the weather. If it's raining, you don't want to go out, right? Like what,
Yeah.
right? So what I love about online leads is literally it's me and the phone and the other
Yep.
person. And I can get
Yep.
through so many people through that all the time,
Yep.
right? Compared to whichever, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I like online leads. And with online leads, depending on which scripting that you do, on terms of buyers or sellers,
Hmm.
once you find that formula, it's pretty easy. I mean, obviously you're not getting a
Yeah.
100%, but your ratio is a lot higher. Like I would say the
Yeah.
people that I talk to on the phone, I would say that I pretty much book 80% or more.
Okay.
So, and I do that through scripting and I do that through knowing the local area and I do that through all that. So, is there
Hmm.
like when you're getting, so if you don't mind me asking, out
Yeah.
of like 10 calls that you're getting, and I'm not talking about prospecting calls, I'm talking about, any booked appointments to chat with you through
Hmm.
Ashley and all that stuff. Out of
Hmm.
those appointments, how often are you getting a home assessment from them?
So a lot of the leads that I'm getting, and actually, let me pull up my numbers. So so I'm not getting appointments. Is basically like my one appointment is my one listing from Niscola.
Okay.
Um,
How much are you spending if you don't mind me asking?
our spend rate, I want to say like 1,000.
Which is pretty,
Um, which is yeah. So we're spending the whatever they recommend.
yeah.
Um, and
Can,
then
can I suggest a few things?
yeah, of course.
So, number one, if your city is kind of dead and it's just
Yeah,
tough, right? You need to
right.
unfortunately spend more to get the same amount of people that you could have got if it got less, like, if it was
Yeah,
hot, right? So,
yeah.
you guys have the capacity, is I would probably do $2,000 or $3,000 a month for the
Okay.
next 3, 4 months. Because
Okay.
remember, you're getting people coming in, right? But
Right.
I spend about 2,200 a month and just for
Okay.
myself. And I'm at a point where it's overwhelming. So, I've just recently lowered it. Um,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think if I were you, that's what I would do because you need more people here. You don't want to wait 4 months to
Yeah.
get, 40 people in. You want to get 40 people in a month, right?
Right.
you know, you can always change the budget afterwards for the ad spend.
Yeah.
But I think for any person, and this goes for you as well as R, just so you're in the conversation, is that
Uh-huh.
I'm a big believer of spending a lot in a short amount of time and then chilling out with the budget.
Got it.
Like for example, if your budget's going to be 20 grand for the year, you might as well spend, the first 3 or 4 months, like 3 grand each or whichever to get people in,
Uh-huh.
right? Because once people come in, you can convert or
Then you
you will
can,
get better to
yeah.
convert, right?
Yeah.
And then that, like I said, that doesn't mean you have to do the 3 grand every single month for the rest of the year, right? It's just,
Right.
especially for online leads, it's really important to start getting a database.
Yeah.
Because people who come in, right, like their mindset is they're just kind of seeing it. They see an ad of, a quick assessment. Obviously, some people get upset when it's, they understand that they have to call someone over the phone, which is fine. And
Right.
some
Yeah.
people who will do it, right?
Yeah.
So, from there, and then you just keep working it. But I think it also depends on your script. So, I mean, obviously, it sounds like, you obviously know what you're doing as in terms of that capacity. But it's more of like if you don't have a concrete script, that's something I would for sure start working on. The script can go as in like an intro. For me, you want to be, I mean, you've been in sales for a bit, but you want to be your true authentic self. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
come across something that you're not. So, for me, my intro is just saying, hi, how are you? Building that quick report. And then, when saying, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm good. I'm living the dream. I try to make them laugh in the first little bit just because then they'll give you a moment of their time, right? And then from there,
Mm-hmm.
I then introduce myself. I go right straight to, hey, thanks so much for your time. Just want to let you know, I'm Nick Moretti. I'm not here to, just want to let you know that this is not a sales call by any means. This is more of helping you find the online assessment for your home. Does that sound
Mm-hmm.
good? Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's fact finding. Okay. Now I just want to figure, I've done my homework on the property. I kind of want to compare my notes to yours. So this is what I see. The house was built in 1990. It's a 4 bed, 3 bath, double car garage. You've been there for 20 years. Have you done any upgrades in the property? Right. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Oh no, whatever it is, right? Then from there, what I basically do is, totally understand. Right now the market, even in my market, shifted a little bit. It's really interesting. We
Mm-hmm.
have about 9 listings or 10 listings, and it's
Mm-hmm.
painful. Um,
Yeah.
for our buyers are just getting things done one by one right now. So I think
Yeah.
I 3 offers today for 3 different buyers.
Oh,
So
that's good.
yeah, so we're running around. But anyways, so what I do next is just letting them know, like, hey, the market's changed. Then I go into the market, like giving them a market update. Obviously, 2021, 2022, huge numbers, low interest rates, fear, COVID. Hopefully we never go there
Mm-hmm.
again. After
Yeah.
that, so basically like the market was pumped on steroids. Then after that, 2023, high interest rates, 13 consecutive times increasing, killed the market, killed the value, crazy shit. And then 2024, a little bit of recovery, and then going into 2025 because of tariffs and all this stuff, the market has been destroyed. It's been
Yeah.
soft. I don't say it like that, but I
Yeah.
just been
Yeah.
soft. Basically, every property right now is a one-to-one basis, meaning, you'll notice something sell high, and then you'll notice some things that should sell are not selling. So, there's
Yeah.
a little bit of different things in the market, and then you go for the trial close. Hey, listen, like, I think what I would be doing is, me giving you an online assessment. My fear is that I'm not, serving you in your highest and best needs based on the online assessment and with the limited information. My concern is not actually giving you a true accurate price, so I don't know if you'd be open to it, but I think what would be better for you is that if we do come by, do a quick tour, I do leave you a booklet, I'll go over market stats, I'll go over comps, and then from there, I can actually give you your true value. Right? Whether
Uh-huh.
they accept it there or say, hey, no, I kind of want the online assessment. Then it goes to the objection handling, right? Then it goes to,
Okay.
hey, Tessa, I totally understand, where you're coming from. I too would just want a number to shoot out, but curious, if I was able to come through and quote you another 100, 150K more, wouldn't that be something of value to you? Wouldn't you want to know that you're sitting on more equity than a casual online assessment?
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is my need. My need is to fight for you. My need is to help you get you as much value in this market as possible. Yes, I understand you're in the information stage. You may not be ready to make a decision at this time. However, you would need to, regardless on whenever time you do, you need the, the right information. What does that mean? Your real estate equation.
Hmm.
What does your house sell for, and what does that leave you to buy? And what
Right.
opportunities does that leave you to, right? So, curious, do you have any investments other than owning a home?
No.
No. Most people would say yes, but
Oh, yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
right. So no problem. I understand. So let me ask you a question. How many times do you check that during a week?
Do I use ChatGPT?
No, I said
Multiple.
how much
Oh.
times do you check a week on your investment, like your
Oh.
stock, crypto,
Oh,
whatever
my
you.
stock. Yeah, like a few times a week.
Okay. So why would your house be any different,
Right.
right? When are you
Hmm.
available? Does this week or next week work?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of where you go, but you need the scripting, right? If you have any objections, you or are that you guys are, I'd love
Hmm.
to objection handle with you now because I mean I've gone through everything, not everything,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, I guess my I'm just looking at some the biggest objection is people not answering the call and just saying just send me an email. I would say
Yeah,
right now that's my biggest objection, which is why I feel like I'm not getting the appointments.
yeah. So this is what I used to do. I used to do this. Okay, so give me a second. I used to do this, and I used to waste my friggin' time. So, where am I going? I'm going to documents. I am going to CMA. So pretty much not like a letter of opinion, but kind of something similar. So
Hmm.
I would write
Yeah.
this, let them know what their house is, all that stuff,
Uh-huh.
where the house value would be. And then I would also send comps, like
Okay.
market stats. I would do market stats and do
Uh-huh.
comps with the photos.
Oh,
Do you think I got a thank you or any
no.
reply? No. So I said, fuck them because
Yeah.
you guys are assholes. Because, generally, if you have someone, this is what I've learned. If you have someone that's coming on here, okay,
Uh-huh.
they're, if they're further away from making the decision, those are money
Yeah.
people because they're just in the
Yeah.
information. Then you have some people that are ready to list soon, and those are money too. But sometimes there's people that are listing and then they see this and then they want to click on whatever the value is to make sure that their agent that they hired and the online assessment are in sync,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
So that's why I don't send that because I used to waste 15 or 20 minutes of my time for each
Right.
person to make sure it looked nice and no one cared about it.
Yeah.
What I do is basically say to those people, hey, no problem. At the end of the day, that's the line that I would say. If they're gonna shoot that question, I'd be
Uh-huh.
like, hey, no problem, I could do an online assessment. But curious, if I was able to give you, quote you another 100 or 200K more on your house, by actually taking a tour of it, wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't that be more powerful than an online assessment? And would you want to know that
Yeah.
you're spending on money and see what they say? Right? Or you can be smart about it. Hey, no problem. I can give you, we do have an online assessment, but it's a two-step. I just have to figure out a few more information about your house. When are you available for a call?
Yeah.
Right? And then
Yeah.
try it that way.
Cool.
Right? And then if they want something, then just give them a range from there. Right? And then I
Yeah.
have something else that we send them like it's called Nosy Neighbor. So basically like
Uh-huh.
anytime a house sells or whichever or it gets listed in their area, they'll be the first to know. So, that's good to stay top of mind on that.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that we have like the neighborhood like in command and stuff. They have like the neighborhood
Yeah.
whatever, which keeps them on top of their
Yes.
specific neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I probably actually because they've opted in. The only thing is, do you use command as a CRM or do you use your
No, I
own?
so basically what I do is this. I have three
Mhm.
CRMs. So Command, I'm not a really big fan of, to be real with you.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of it. I just do it to upload paperwork. So
Yeah.
Command is my database of people that I've done deals with.
Okay.
Okay. So my other CRM, so my agent locator, because I have agent locator, that is my CRM that I put all my leads in. I'll
Okay.
tell you why, because I can send listings from there. I can see what they've looked at. It's a
Mhm.
little bit more fluid than Command. Then I have
Mhm.
Mascola, which is seller leads. So I
Yeah.
usually my seller leads here. But if they want that nosy neighbor program, or if they want me to send them listings, I then put them on agent locator CRM. So
Yeah.
I don't put any of my leads in my command, because when I first started, there was so many people had thousands of people in their database and would hate to go in it because they're just
There's,
too overwhelming, right? You don't know where to
yeah.
start, you don't know what to
Hmm.
do, your already mindset is low, all that kind of stuff. So I try to make it as easy as possible.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
do command for my deals, and then I do everything else for every lead thing I put for agent locator, and
Uh-huh.
then school as my seller leads.
Cool. Yeah. I'm using Muscula for keeping the seller leads in there.
Yeah.
And then Command is the other database we're using. But yeah, I mean, I've worked in a lot of CRMs and I feel like none of them are great. But yeah, Command does seem to be pretty prohibitive in a few things.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
That's
but
what I would
thinking,
recommend, you know?
yeah, I'll look into the agent locator. Our budgets are pretty tight right now. Because the other piece that reason why we got into real estate was for more of learning about investing.
Yeah.
So we did just buy a small amounts of family property in Ohio.
Nice.
Um, so we're using and we're setting up kind of like a lead generation thing, which my husband's kind of leading that.
Yeah.
So I can focus on like the real estate sales.
Yeah.
But that's another database for wholesale leads, buyer leads, agents, all these other things that are going through. So I'm like, we have a lot of this right now.
For sure.
Um,
And that's the hard part, to kind of figure out where to go once you start
yeah,
having so many leads. But I
yeah,
would suggest you don't necessarily have to get agent locator, but I would suggest
yeah. I'll
spending
look
more on
into
your
it.
ad budget on Muscula
Yeah.
to get
Okay.
more listings, right?
Okay.
Um, Obviously, I find that with real estate as investments, the only real investments in real estate to make some money here in Canada, right? You guys are in the States,
Mm-hmm.
so it's different. You guys
Yeah.
have more opportunity. Um, I would say that multi-units and developing land is where it's at. Everything else,
Yeah.
it's, you buying a single family home to put a renter in doesn't make sense, because the renters,
Right.
you're already losing cash flow per month, um,
Yeah.
from just, the rent and the mortgage costs, they don't align. So you're in
Uh-huh.
the red for future equity, which, I mean, it's hard to know. Plus you have capital gains. It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. I find that for anyone who's looking to buy, if they want to really make some good money, is, get a fourplex or a
Yeah.
multiplex. Go from there, get something that needs work, fix it up, rehab it, take your money back out and get something else and build your cash flow that way, right? So
Yep.
um it's just hard, because I feel that in real estate you never really lose money in real estate, but in the last couple of years people lost, and I feel like that's what is really hurting the market.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like the world has, like, North America has pumped so much bullshit into the markets, and now they're
Yeah.
deflated. And if you were one of the people that did what it needed to do at the right time, great. But all the
Great.
new
Yeah.
people right now are,
Yeah. And there's so many people who can't even afford, that's crazy. I mean, we bought in Vegas at the peak. And so for
okay, of
us, like, um, I mean, we're not planning on selling this home.
course.
We're planning on, just we'll upsize and then rent this one. Uh but it's like the values are just crazy. Like ones were like single stories we're selling for what the value is for our 2-story
Crazy,
more square footage like a year and a half ago. So I think to see that
crazy.
equity drop so quickly, a lot
Oh,
of people, it's like a
and
really
then
tough
mortgages
pill to
going up,
swallow.
so it's just like you
Oh
literally are
yeah.
double losing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you're spilling the roulette wheel and you get the
Yeah.
double zero, that's what it is right now.
Yeah.
Right? So, however, though,
Yeah.
there's definitely opportunity, because buyers are
Yeah.
going to be out there. So,
Yeah.
obviously, like right now, you do want buyers compared to sellers, but you always want sellers. You want reasonable sellers, right? So right now,
Right.
I'm at a point that, if people are, it's not me selling low, it's just what the market's willing to give. If people are good with this number and, know that they may have to adjust lower and they're good for it, great, I'll take on the listing. But if they're stuck
Yeah.
on a number that the market's not willing to pay, I am not taking it.
Yeah. Yeah. We think, thankfully, we have, well, there's one house that's been really tough. I mean, our average days on market right now is like around 50, 55. So she's not, she's getting close to that point. She's like at 30, I think 30 days. but she at least will let it, she's letting us lower it. So we're kind of playing around with the price
Yeah.
a little bit. But yeah, the other, I have two other that are under contract. And then we're trying to get this, our other friend to list, but he has to, he's going to go after his HOA for,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, well, we'll wait on you.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, getting the buy, I mean, I think for like the seller leads, they're coming in. I'll get more aggressive, I think, on the phone calls. And I took notes on what you say to get people to kind of let you in
Of
their
course.
house. Like, yeah. So I'll just work on getting more aggressive. And then I think, thinking about ways to get buyer leads might be kind of a better play right now than seller leads. But I know
It's
that
hard
with,
because this is the thing. Once
yeah,
the market switches, that's
uh
when you want
that's
to
when,
figure it
yeah,
out, right? And then you
yeah,
want to have the listings ready on there. So,
yeah,
and this is the thing, listings will sell. It just will
yeah,
take some time.
yeah,
Don't be scared of listings. It just means
yeah,
that if you think that something's going to be 8 to 9, you probably need
uh
to 750 to 850.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So it just means that you have to shift down the ladder, and if they're not willing to do it now, then I'll let you know when your number can be possible, right? I think
yeah,
another good thing too is that what we've done to get some really good opportunity
uh
is basically having an exclusive list of homes. So basically, hey, I totally understand, Tessa, that you're not looking to sell. However, we have a program. We have a program that still shows listings that are coming to the market, and this is great because buyers want to know what's coming after they see what's there. Um,
mm-hmm,
and like you just mentioned, you said that if you get a certain price, you'd be willing to sell. Is that right?
mm-hmm,
So, we'll put you on our exclusive program, and this is, basically we'll take exterior photos of the property. We won't take any interior photos because we want people
mm-hmm.
to understand, that we have the listing, but we don't want, if they want to see it, then they would have to come in to see it. The good thing about
Right.
this helps keeps our price where it is because it's off market. So there's some
Uh,
sort of exclusiveness with that. So that's where we can try to keep you as high as possible. Obviously, the market's going to make, whatever adjustments the market's going to do. However, this is great because it allows us to talk about your property and get another buyer in or talk to other agents that have buyers in.
uh,
So, because what I used to like last year, I went on like I think 90 listing appointments. I went to on
uh, yeah,
and I would lose, and like, I would have people that would want to work with me, but obviously having an abundance of leads, sometimes you fall off. I mean, it is what it is.
yeah,
And then I would see them list with other people because I didn't contact them. So
yeah,
what I want to do is get them signed with me on that day or on the next coming, weeks or whatever it is, so that
uh
I know that I have the listing. And now I just got to work with them to get it on MLS if it hasn't sold through the exclusive market.
yeah. I was actually wondering about that, and I don't know what the. I don't think we can a
There
listing
must be a
agreement.
program. So like you would have to find out. Like, mine is called Knocked. Oops. Mine is called Knocked, sorry. So
Uh-huh.
basically, this is what it looks like. I just brought a bunch of them to the market, so it might not show much. So this is what it looks like. So this is one from Escula. Actually, this one in Pine Ridge is from Escula. So this
Uh-huh.
one we're coming on the market next week, and I signed this back in July. So basically, it allows you to see how many people viewed it, how many shares. You can send this to your database. You can look at all the photos, all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So this is what I've been trying to do, lock people down on the exclusiveness,
Uh-huh.
especially if they're in the summer and they want to listen in the winter. So it's better to
Yeah.
get the photos, done, whatever, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, anyways, that's kind of what I've pretty much
Oh,
done.
cool.
So
Okay.
doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's
And
awesome.
this gives you another way to keep the listing. And
Yeah.
you're getting another
Y-
service that most agents can't.
right. Okay, cool. And that's another reason why people would want to get on the
Exactly.
database too. Yeah.
And scripting is, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I told you, it sounds like, you would consider moving if you had the right price, right? So instead of, letting buyers, pass us by that may be willing to give us the money before we go on the market, I think we should put it on the market. So this is a development one that have. So I did
Uh-huh.
renderings to show what it could look like and whatever, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So so basically that's kind of what
Cool.
I do. I always try to find a way to have a reason to have their info and to have their listing.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
I think that's the best way of doing it because especially once you start getting to more and more listing appointments, you want to make sure that you get them signed.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. If I have people that Like I went to one guy, he's not sure if he's going to list. They might move back to the Philippines. They have a ton of stuff in their house.
Of
He's like
course.
overwhelmed with figuring, he's one of the 55 plus community guys. He was
Sure.
like overwhelmed with figuring out moving and how to get rid of stuff and, how to list
Right.
his home and then all this other stuff. So I'm like, well, if you get, and then he's worried about the market because, he doesn't want to, he wants to make money and they're not in a rush. But so it's like,
Very
if I
nice.
could tell him, you know, if you have a price that you want, just sign a listing agreement. And then here are the steps you can take now to get your home ready while it's at a high price or at, whatever your top price is. And then when, come spring, if it has not sold at that price, then we can list it and you'll have already been working towards the downsizing and all that other stuff. So,
This is
yeah, I
what
don't.
I think you need to do, okay?
Uh-huh.
In those kind of scenarios, is it's not so much about telling us what price you want, right? It's more of like, okay, so hey Tesla, here's the plan, okay? You know, in a perfect world, I mean, but being realistic, what do you feel that your house is worth right now? Let's
Well,
just
I feel like my house is worth at least 550,000, but the
okay,
home down the street didn't sell for sold for 425.
okay, so he's basically 100K over asking, basically about.
I mean, yeah, I think to move right now, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So totally understand. However, I think realistically that number is too much subjective value. And that basically means that
Hmm.
like obviously when you live somewhere, you take care of your house, no matter what, you're going to feel that your house is always worth more. And it's just because you have,
Yeah.
emotional connection, which is totally cool. However, being realistic and bringing data into it, that price that you're asking for is for something that is much more, more square footage, better finishings, more modern finishing
Uh-huh.
or what buyers want today, right? So we have to understand that that 550 is not really the right number, right? Now,
Hmm.
based on what market stats are telling me, it's telling us about 450. However, what I think we can do is let's try going 499. We understand that we're a little
Uh-huh.
bit higher right now. However, this is how we would market it, and this is the plan. We would put you on the exclusive listing. So this gives us the ability for A to talk about the listing, B to, tell our clients and future clients and prospects, as well as going to other top agents who may have buyers that will,
Uh-huh.
want to see your property, right? I'm not guaranteeing you that we're having showings every week, but I am saying that I'm talking to people and I'm trying to get people into the house. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, number two, while we have it listed until we figure out when the right timing is for you to come on the marketplace, what we're going to do is we're going to, it sounds like, we need to declutter your house. It sounds like there's a few things that we need to take care of in order to, get you as much money as possible when we do come onto the marketplace. So I think what we should do is let's do on the exclusive at 499. I'll take some like exterior photos of the property just so we can get started. And then in the meantime, we're going to start making a timeline to list of, an idea of okay, this is when we're going to start decluttering. This is when we're going to start, taking furniture out. This is when we're going to
Right.
maybe, throw things out. This is or go to storage, and then once we're pretty much ready to stage, I think then at that time, if the numbers make sense, we then go on the market so we don't miss any more opportunity. Because the problem is, Tessa, is that you have an idea of a number in your head, which I totally understand. However, the market is softer, and there's a lot of buying power that is available and a lot of good
Hmm.
opportunity in that regards. However, the selling side is soft, and we don't know when things are going to go better because the world is kind of in shits right now. To be
Uh-huh.
honest with you. So, your options that you have is, taking advantage when people are not looking, right? So you'll have a better deal, maybe some more cash than you would. And, let's say for shits and giggles, essentially, you wouldn't want to say that word,
Uh-huh.
for whichever. Let's say you can get 550. What do you think your purchase is going to be? Probably about five you know
Uh-huh.
so I mean it's still an illusion that still doesn't get you much further even if you get the higher number. I think what it looks
Right.
like in this market is that you can get a little bit of a lower number that you're expecting. However, you have a lot of opportunity to buy and get a better price, and that
Yeah.
will be with more cash in your pocket. So in building out this roadmap, it kind of sounds like now would be the better decision
Yeah.
because you also don't want FOMO to miss out, and right now you may be missing out.
Yeah.
That's how I would position it.
Okay.
Do you see like it's different from like, hey, well, give me a number, let's start, getting out there and
Yeah.
like figure it out. But you
Yeah.
have to make it an attractive package.
Yeah.
That's how I'm getting in, and that's how I'm getting listings signed.
When you say attractive package, you mean like a listing? You said a booklet before. You
Just
mean
kind of
like
like how I'm saying,
that?
like an attractive route. Like there's a
Oh yeah,
plan,
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
system, there's
yeah.
this is what's gonna
You
happen.
come
This
in
is
with the
what's gonna happen.
strategy and the
Yes,
kind of this is what you need to do. You don't have to
yes.
think about anything else.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah,
then really diving deep, I find like with most real estate agents, everyone is scared with conflict. And I mean, no one likes conflict, but I'm not saying conflict in a bad way, but
yeah,
conflict in terms of challenging people. Well,
yeah.
hey, I don't want to sell, this year. I want to sell next year. People be like, okay, no problem. And then just keep following up with them. But what I do is like, hey, well, if you don't mind me asking, what is different next year compared to this year? What is stopping you?
Right.
Oh, I think the market's going to be better. Well, how do you know? Why don't we
Yeah.
go to the casino and you tell me what number to put and you tell me if what you're saying is right or wrong, and I'll give you five chances. But we don't know, right? And especially in a world where things are shit, right? This is where
Yeah,
things are, and we don't know when recovery is. Like,
yeah,
I don't even think 2026 is going to be the recovery. I think maybe 2027, 2028.
yeah.
Just because like there's really attractive prices, buyers are not buying, and sellers don't want to sell. So I
Right.
mean, like there's going to
2026 is
be
gonna be shit.
Yeah, I feel the same way, to be honest with you. I feel like there might be a little bit of confidence, but I still
Uh-huh.
feel it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah,
And I have a lot of listings and I usually sell them all pretty quickly. And the fact that we're sitting on 10 is annoying because
yeah,
now it's more client management. It's now like, do you know how to do your
yeah,
job? I don't see it on social media. I don't like, blah. Like, holy fuck. Maybe if you
yeah,
lower your price.
yeah. Exactly.
So so that's kind of where it is, right? And I think the problem is people are leveraged. They can't afford to lower the price. That's the problem,
Yeah,
right? So we'll have to see where it goes. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is still not a reason to crush it, right? It just understanding the playing field and understand that we have to pivot and say things differently and move differently to get the right stuff, right?
yeah,
And then it just goes to tell people like how motivated are you to sell? How motivated are you to go forward? Because right
yeah,
now, like you might not be motivated, but your other our competitions, which are sellers, other sellers that are on the market, they're willing to
uh-huh.
take less. And once they take less, what's going to happen? That's going to be a recent comp. So now all buyers are going to go to that
Yeah,
comp as that. And then guess what? We might now sell even lower. So the question is, if we're starting to sell lower, what is going to be the turnaround for us to start selling higher? And how
yeah,
long will that take to get that price that you wanted? You might not be able
yeah,
to afford to wait that long, right? So it's really
yeah,
just diving deep and being real. Like I just be straight up real with people. And I think
yeah.
that's the difference. People don't want to hear
Okay.
what they want to hear. Like sure,
Yeah.
some do, but like I mean they're a joke. So like I lost well, I didn't there was a few listings that they told me, Nick, no, we're not looking to sell, even though I've chatted with them for a while. Where was it? It was on Concession Road. I'll show you. They were like, yeah, no, Nick, I'm not looking to sell, whatever. And then like 4 months later, they put it on for 2.1 million and they got no bites whatsoever.
Right.
I told them that the house was worth 1.8. So
Yeah.
it goes to show that, what is give me a second, I'll tell you right now. Actually, you know what? I can do it this way. So it goes to show, yeah, sure, you may lose some, but honestly, now when I circle back to them, because I will be, now it's like, okay, you know, now it's like, I told you. And now it's like, if you don't mind me asking, why did you lie to me? Essentially, why did you tell me that and I don't care. Because look, at the end of the day, I don't have the listing and I'm probably not going to get the listing. So why shouldn't I be bold and figure out how to do it? What do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? A lead? Okay. I'll just get another one. Where is it? It was Concession Road. What was it? Concession Road. Sorry, it was a really nice one. Oh, that.
I was gonna say for 1.8, it must be.
Yeah. Let me.
Hey Nick, I have to run.
Yeah, no problem at all.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate I took so many notes, so I have to organize them, but I really appreciate you
Yeah, no problem.
spending so much time with me.
That's what I'm here for. So,
Yeah.
follow me on Already Real Estate. If you have any questions, just hit me up. And then we
Okay,
kind of go
cool.
from there. Thanks for
Okay,
coming.
cool. Awesome. Thanks.